With that being said, today, March 16th, 2025, it is a Sunday, and I am Jackie. So, welcome to the MedXpressionz Podcast, where I get to be me, and eventually, when you start to listen and share, you'll get to be you with me, and we'll get to be us, and it'll be a lot of fun because, like I said before, life be life, and we don't have time for a lot of this stuff. Here, you can let your hair down, take your wig off, have your pajamas on, and we could talk about whatever floats our boat, anybody boat or nobody boat at all. So again, welcome to the MedXpressionz Podcast. I'm your host, Jackie, and today we're diving into a powerful conversation that could change the way you think about your career path. For all of you who don't know or do know, this is kind of what I do. I'm into career development. I'm into helping people switch their career paths because out in the field, I've learned a lot. I made a lot of connections, and I kind of put it all together with the help of God. I didn't do it by myself. And so, with that, I've found a way to help people maneuver that's not expensive. Okay. And so, if you ever felt stuck in a job that's going nowhere, worried about the cost of traditional schooling, college, or wonder if there's another way to build a successful future, this episode is definitely for you. So, we're talking about the power of certifications and short term training programs today, how they can provide you with the skills you need to enter high paying careers without the burden of student loan debt. And you guys, with all we're going through with today with the Department of Education being disassembled, and we don't know what to do with our student loans or what's going on, that's kind of important, especially if you're a parent with a young adult about to graduate from high school. And when I go out and I talk at the high schools, I wish parents would show up so I can educate them as well. Because our young people sometimes they get sidetracked. But just able to empower somebody, if nothing but one person, I'm okay with that. So today we're going to cover everything from what certifications are, how much they cost, and even I'm going to share with you some real life success stories of people who I've helped turn their lives around with just a few months of training. Eventually, I hope that some of these people, if you get a chance, go and do my read or listen to my interview with Kat. She was one of my students that went through the program, and she's doing fairly well now. You can follow her on whatever social media to know that I'm not gaslighting you. So for years, you guys, the myth of the 4-year degree. For years, we've been told that success looks like this: graduate high school, go to a 4-year college, and get a degree. But what if I told you that wasn't the only way? And what if I told you that's not the best way? It's not the best way for everybody. What if you could just spend 6 months, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 months, a year, just for a career that trains you and pays you just as much, if not more, than the job requiring a bachelor's degree or a master's? So let's look at some numbers. And I'm my own research analyst. I like to research everything, and everything on the web is not so. So if you know something different, please drop it in the comments because I like to give real information, and I'm limited on to some of the things that I can find. So the average cost of a 4-year college degree in the US is probably about 60, 70,000, right? So that totals you per year, well, the whole 4 years. So if you break it down, 15, 20,000 a year, 80,000. So somewhere depending on where you go. So this totals can end up for one degree, you can end up anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 in debt, $60,000 to $80,000 in debt. So the average student loan debt is over $30,000 per borrower. So meanwhile, many jobs that only require certification pay 40 to 70,000 per year without years of schooling. Now, I'm not knocking traditional college because I'm in one right now. But the truth is, many industries are shifting toward valuing skills and certifications over degrees. So let's talk about some career options where you can skip the 4-year degree and still make a living. So we have those short-term training programs, which I'm a big advocate of. So what exactly is a certification? it's a credential that proves you have the skills to do a specific job. Most certification programs include classroom instruction, hands-on training, and sometimes an exam for licensing. These programs can range from a few weeks to a year, but they're much faster, cheaper, and more accessible than traditional degrees. So, for instance, here's some of the popular ones. Phlebotomy technician. Your training duration is anywhere from 10 weeks to 3 months. And the salary, median salary is about $38,000. The cost of the program is anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. You have the community health worker training. That's anywhere from 8 weeks to 6 months. That salary is $48,000. Your cost can be anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. You have medical assistant. Depending on where you go, you can. And I know of a program here in Nevada that you can apply to. They only pick a certain amount of people per year, but they pay you while you go to school. So to me, that's amazing. That is a $20,000 program that you can finish in 9 months to a year and get out making $45,000 debt free. And the icing on the cake is that you have that same job. So when you graduate, you are already employed. So I think that's awesome. Electricians, they make about $60,000 a year. Your investment cost is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. And the good thing about that, you can still go to some of these unions, sign up. You might have to start on the ground floor, but guess what? That's okay. You have your CDL truck driver, your IT support specialist, and my list goes on, you guys, because this is what I do. So now that we talked about these careers, again, I know personally some people that made the switch and they will eventually get on the show so you guys can hear about it because I want to introduce you to the people who took the leap and changed their life with the certification program. I had a student that was working at Starbucks. Starbucks paid for her to do what it is she do now. And now she is working at Concentra and she's loving it and they're going to eventually be training her for management. And I tell you, best decision she made. And so I'm so excited for her. And I still keep in touch with everybody because I like to be able to know what's going on, talk to them about what's going on, and share that with them. And anything updated, I want to give out to people because, like me, I have 13 certifications and 3 degrees. And maybe I paid for probably 2 of those because I've checked into how to get my stuff paid for free. But anyway, so how do we choose the right certification program? Okay, so now you're thinking, this sounds good, Jackie, right? You making this sound, I hope I am. My voice is a little raspy, but I hope I'm making this sound good to the point where it gets your brain turning. Whether you come search me out or you go search for yourself or you find somebody else, then by all means, still look for it though. So now you're thinking, this sounds great, but how do I find the right program? So this is what I would tell you to do to start off. Research the in-demand jobs. So you can check the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can go to bls.gov and see what the growth trends are. Then you want to look at your trade schools and your community colleges and your online programs that have good reviews and make sure that they are all accredited. Because without the accreditations, that means you're wasting your time and your money. Then you want to check the financial aid and payment options. So we have what we call the WIA grants. And a lot of states offer this for free training for eligible individuals. Not sure how it's going right now with the way the world is going, but I know those grants are right now still in effect. Employer sponsorship. Now this is one I'm big on. A lot of employers offer training, paid training. If you want to go to school, they offset a lot of the costs for you. Get into that. Find out what it is that your job offers because, of course, you want to grow. And we have, well, there are, not we, they have scholarships and payment plans. So many schools offer flexible options. Then you want to look for your hands-on training. So choose programs that offer externships, apprenticeships, or labs to get real world experience. So I didn't come. I just wanted to talk to you about this a little bit, just to kind of get your brain going. If you're a parent of a person that's graduating high school, if you are or know somebody, share this podcast with them. Please reach out to me, MedXpressionzLLC.com. That's the website. Or definitely find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm all over the place, LinkedIn. Not hard to find. Or you can even come in on this episode. And I look like you said we got somebody online. Not sure if you want to chime in. But I definitely offer you, because one thing about knowledge is meant to be shared. So remember, if today's episode got you thinking, this is what I need you to do right now to take the next step in your career. Research the jobs in your area that require certification. And then again, come on, visit my website. I have skill set successes or MedXpressionz for training programs. Check your wheel funding or your employer sponsored training, and you can set a 6-month goal to start and complete a program. Your career change doesn't have to take 4 years, you guys. It could be 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 9 months, 6 months, a year. But who wouldn't want that versus 4 years? And what I did, to just remind you of my story, when I turned 18, I was a foster kid. So when I turned 18, I said, I don't want just a job. I want a career. So I went to medical school. I wanted to do nursing, but that wasn't realistic for me. But that was okay. So I became a CNA, a medical assistant. Then I became a phlebotomy tech, EKG tech, a unit clerk. So I got certified for all of these things. Then I said, you know what? I want to learn how to be a notary. And I became a notary. Then I started learning how to teach CPR because I got tired of going to the classes. So I said, you know what? I'm going to teach these classes. And so I began teaching CPR. Then life insurance is so near and dear to my heart, because I tell everybody, for what we waste money on, we can insure our lives. So when we pass up out of here, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's realistic, you guys. When we leave this place, our family is not struggling. You don't want to go find me. You don't want people selling dinners. You want your family to be able to put you to rest at peace and go take a trip to Hawaii. That's me. I tell my people, hey, do not stress. You could throw me in the ditch. Take that money and go splurge, especially the ones who had to deal with me. It was not easy. So that's how I started. Then I started selling life insurance, and then I got into the annuities, and which I still do to this day. I'm a community health worker, peer support specialist. I have my degree in education. I'm a substitute teacher. I still do that as well. I also got a little taste of real estate, um, insurance, not just life. I do health, P&C as well. Oh my gosh, the list just goes on and on. Community resource coordinator, I'm program director at where I work at right now. Just all I teach phlebotomy all over the place with everything that I do because I want to do it. I choose to. That's how I choose to live my life. And when I don't want to do something, I don't do it. So that was the roadmap for me. And so I invite others. And if you don't want to hear from me, go on Amazon. I have a book called Certified Successes that's published on Amazon. It's a nice little read, give you some insight as what you want to do. And then I'm also thinking about offering a class for $19.99 to teach people how to just to get you going to start your business, motivate you, and give you the pathway, draw out the diagram for you so you can get on. Everybody's not going to be a business owner. I understand that. But at least if it's something that you want to do, make it fun. Work should not be burdensome. Work should be fun. So when I get up and I go to work every day, it needs to be meaningful for me. Don't know about you, but whatever you want to do. Construction, we have connections with that. Medical, we have the connections with that. Anything that you desire that you want to try out, there's a way to try it out without putting your life off on hold. So please chime in. Let me know what's going on. That's kind of it for today's episode of the MedXpression Podcast. If this episode inspired you, motivated you, got you to thinking, and you want some more answers, please reach out to me so I can share it with you. Share it with someone who may need to hear it, or share it if you just want to laugh at me and say, ah, her voice sound raspy, listen to this. I don't care, just share it. Um, and if you're ready, take control of your career. Don't wait. Start your journey today. So make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, I can't talk, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Willing to bet you I'm probably on it. So for next week, I'm going to be tackling a big issue, but I don't know what it is yet because, like I told you, my bipolarism lets me be bipolar. So I don't know what I want to talk about next week. I might do one tomorrow. Who knows? Don't know. If I feel like it, I will. However, go back and read some of my other ones. Listen to some of my podcasts. Subscribe to my blogs, right? And if you're doing the same thing, I would definitely return the favor. I like talking, but I like talking to other people, not just myself. I do like talking to myself, though, sometimes. I'm very insightful with myself. However, if you're in the medical field or any high stress job, stay tuned in. That might be what I'm talking about next week, might not be. However, thank you. I truly, from my heart, genuinely want to say thank you for those who listen, for those who read my blogs, for those who support me on social media. I'm nobody. I just know some things and I just want to share it with the world. So thank you for giving me your ear. And always shout out to my platforms that allow me to share. So, and have a great Sunday. And until next time, thank you for these 18 minutes that you gave to me today. I pray that something good happened for you, that a blessing be bestowed upon you for that. And until then, until the next time, have a great one.